What is going on, Guardians? Today we're going to be starting out in the Destiny Twab. It's been out for a few days now. I've been super busy. It's like the last week I have to turn in a project for a class, so I've been busy with that. But today we're going to be talking about the one particular thing I pulled out of the Twab that I find extremely important to Destiny, and I'm glad Bungie talks about it in the Twab last week, and I don't feel like enough people as well are talking about it and the importance of the changes to bounties. So there's a lot of talk about changing to bounties, particularly about this shifting away from XP, and how the best way right now to level your season pass is to not miss a week of those weekly XP activity bounties, and that's fine and dandy, but like I've missed a whole week or two in this season, and I'm already max rank in the season pass. So to me, this part isn't that big a deal. I know I'm going to hit level 100 in the season pass every season. It's not a big deal to me. For other players, maybe this is a big deal, and I'm glad those people are getting it. The ones who only have a couple hours a week, maybe this is going to end up helping you a lot reach those max ranks in your season pass, because there are some good rewards at the end. Like ornaments that you can't get anywhere else, it seems, as well as just materials like Ascendant Shards, really good, and Exotic Engrams, all really good items to get at the end of your season pass. So I'm glad that you guys won't be missing out on that anymore. There's a quick section on event bounties and quality of life improvements. Basically, the bounties are gonna have longer expiration times, as well as the events like this current Guardian Games event won't focus so heavily on just completing a bunch of bounties. Alrighty, so I found it. I had to go back and read through it just to figure out exactly where I wanted to highlight, but I want to highlight this section right here where it says bounties have found their way into the critical path of some seasonal pursuits, becoming primary sources for seasonal progress. And then starting in season 12, we plan to steer away from this model in general. So right now, and this is my problem with a lot of Destiny PvE right now, since Season of Dawn, so Season of Dawn and this season, you don't have to do the seasonal PvE activity at all, and you can earn all the seasonal weapons. And especially this season, the seasonal activity is just not fun at all. And I really want Destiny to get back to the kind of season of opulence where, you know, you go into the menagerie, you play in the menagerie with your build. This is a place where I like to use all those build videos that I talk about. I used to like bringing those types of builds into these activities and mess around with them. But right now, our only activity we can play is on each of the planets, and it's basically a public event, so there's no really fun place just to experiment and have fun with your build other than maybe strikes, and strikes aren't rewarding at all, and we can talk about strikes maybe later on. But for right now, we are in a situation where you don't have to play any activities to earn all of the weapons from the seasonal PvE activity, and I just think that's really dumb compared to something like the menagerie, where we were running it, you know, over and over and over again, especially early on when it was bugged, because we wanted those god roll specific weapons, and it was the only way to get those. Imagine, rather than having to run the menagerie, you would have to do a bounty and you would get an Austringer, a beloved, things like that. It just would ruin the entire PvE activity, and that's essentially what's happening when you know, let everyone earn a shitload of fractalin and then turn them in and get bounties that give guns and rewards. It's just a really cheap system to getting loot, and it makes it so that the actual core PvE activity of the season gets overlooked and underused, and that's really unfortunate. So starting in season 12, which obviously isn't next season, so which makes sense, but in season 12 come September, we're going to be moving back towards hopefully a menagerie style system where you go into a PvE activity, you bring your fun build, you bring your, you know, fun builds, you know, not necessarily your perfect builds for, let's say, a Grandmaster Nightfall or a raid, but your more fun builds that you're just messing around with and you want to improve and see if they can play well in PvE. then you get to bring those builds into these activities because dying isn't really a setback that much. But this isn't coming next season, and the reason for that is probably because they've already been creating the season 12 PvE activity. They've probably already built it around bounties, like they built the last 2 PvE activities around bounties. And so that's probably the reason. And right now, obviously, they don't have enough time to change it. The season comes out in a month. So come season 12, hopefully, at the end of the day, we'll have to go into an activity to actually get rewards rather than sit there and farm bounties all day. So that's it. I just wanted to talk about that really fast. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.